These are the 5 key psychology hacks that you need to finally stop feeling sad, lost, and lonely. You are not alone in your grief. For better or worse, it is part of the human condition. But you don't need to marinate in your negativity. You have the capacity to walk out of your darkness and into a brighter future. If you want to learn how to be happier, here's the secret formula. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emily, and for my day job, I work as a civil engineer. After hours, I like to bring you my favorite personal development advice to help you grow into the ideal version of yourself and engineer your dreams. So grab your tea, tuck in, and let's get started. This 5-step framework gives you the tools that you need to build a life focused on whole person well-being. You are responsible for your own happiness, not anyone else. And you have the ability to cultivate happiness within yourself and build yourself a brighter future. The first step in the SPIRE framework is your spiritual well-being. It seems unpopular these days to be spiritual, to have faith, or to be a part of an organized religion. However, there is nothing that has given me more hope for the future and also helped me to have more trust that things are going to work out than faith. I don't think that you need to ascribe to any one particular religion in order to get the effects of this, but I do think you have to believe in something greater than yourself in order to trust and have faith in the universe and believe that life is unfolding for your benefit. Spirituality gives me lovely nuggets of wisdom, of course, but it also gives me an immense sense of purpose that the work I'm here to do is serving others and a greater plan. When my life felt really lonely and hard, and my friends and family felt far, I still had the comfort of God, the greater universe, and my faith supporting me that made me feel like I had a home even far away. The community that's made by faith gave me a place where I could feel vulnerable and allow myself to just show up and be myself without all of the masks that I typically wear everywhere else. Yes, there have been many times where I've sat in the back pew and had a little emotional session in church, and I just remember feeling so held in these moments. I think it's so important to have a safe space where you can go and feel nurtured by community even when you feel very low. I believe at the core of my being that you're not alone in this world, that there is something outside of me and outside of us that cares deeply for our personal well-being and also the collective well-being of our species and our little planet. This is the force that I call God. You can call it the universe, the spiritual energy, potato, it doesn't make a difference to me. I know even if you're a type A perfectionist, you think that you can control every aspect of your future, but I promise you, you cannot. And it is much better that the future is in the hands of an all-knowing, omniscient being who is far wiser and smarter than any of us combined, and that he is in control of this plan as opposed to every one of the little children who are trying to figure out life as they go. This faith has helped me to keep my head held high even when times feel tough, and to keep making the next right step forward, knowing that the universe will unfold my path before me and my dreams will meet me along that path so long as I just keep taking the next right steps in faith. The next step in the SPIRE framework for well-being is physical well-being. It's no secret these days, if you're marinating in any of the health content, that endorphins make you happier. Obviously, working out will give you a hot body, but it will also give you a sharper, happier mind. So if you need no other reason to work out besides that emotionally you will feel better, that's a great reason to start your workout plan for 2025. I was at my happiest and also my hottest when I was working out on a regular basis. What a thriving combination. It is nearly impossible for you to feel in a sulky down mood if you're regularly getting sunshine and moving your body. It doesn't mean that you need to do intense workouts every day. You can do a simple walk in the woods, or you can go do some yoga, and you can do HIIT training, once a week. But you have to do something to move your body to get the happy hormones flowing through your system in order to get the benefits. If you've been stagnant for a while, I know it's hard to get the momentum to start that process again, but trust me, start it. It is so worth it. And as soon as you get the ball rolling, it'll make it easier for that habit to begin. If you're looking for more advice on how to cultivate your healthy habits, specifically around fitness, definitely check out my video all on that topic. My number one tip if you want to become more active is to just start thinking of yourself as a person who works out all day. You don't have to try so hard to cultivate a new habit if you first focus on changing your identity. If you go from thinking of yourself as a couch potato to thinking of yourself as someone who works out, it'll be easier for you to step into the actions of someone who typically is at the gym. Happy hormones aside, obviously working out is part of your physical well-being, but also getting your proper beauty sleep and eating proper healthy foods will help that health radiate through your body and make you feel better. If you're feeding yourself crap, you will look like crap and you will feel like crap. But if you're feeding yourself healthy foods, that will manifest in a glow up that naturally radiates from within because you're going to be a happier person. So if you really want to treat yourself and do yourself some good, have a salad instead of takeout. Okay, step 3 in our framework to build a happier, more wholesome life is to focus on your intellectual well-being. If you feel like you're not growing, you will feel depressed. You have to feel like you're growing and you're learning something new in order to find purpose and to find joy in like the discovery of new fun topics. When I felt at my lowest, I felt that there was no intellectual momentum in my life, that things felt the same day in and day out. And that stagnation in my mind is what caused all of the down and heavy thoughts to marinate. But as soon as I start to focus my energy towards learning and growing in areas that bring me joy innately, then my life starts to come alive again. If you're living in a kind of mental purgatory, you're in your own little hell loop, and it's hard to get out of that. If you want to feel like a happy, helpful member of society, you have to grow. If you feel a little lost right now, one of the things that I often focus on when I want to find my joy again is to look at habits and hobbies that I loved when I was a child, because these are things that innately resonate with my soul before, life and society gets involved. So things like horseback riding, reading, writing, learning languages, all resonate deeply with my soul and bring me intense happiness just through the act of doing it. And whenever I'm learning about these things, that kind of glow up and that lit from within curiosity vibrates through my body. I think the biggest key about your intellectual well-being is that it makes you optimistic about the future, because as you feel yourself learning and growing, there's this wonderful positive snowball that happens in your life, and it helps you to see like how you could grow and change and be a better version of yourself tomorrow. Okay, so the fourth part of our whole person well-being framework is your relational well-being. It is no secret that one of the best things you can do to increase your happiness is to build relationships that bring you joy and make you feel seen and loved. This is often harder in reality than it is just in theory, but I promise you, you will not feel happier by putting in an extra shift at work. And one of the number one regrets of the dying is that they wish they spent more time with their loved ones. People at the end of their life have the wisdom to know that relationships are the one thing that can bring them more joy and more fulfillment out of life. Not only do our relationships give us a sense of feeling loved, but they also give us a sense of belonging. And whether that's through your community, at church, or at your different, funtivity groups, or within your family, we belong to the other people we love as well. And through serving them, it gives us a sense of duty and it makes us feel needed. And feeling needed and feeling useful are the biggest things that have helped me to pull out of my own depression, to feel better, and to feel like I have a purpose here on this planet. I often feel the saddest when I feel like there's nothing I can do and I feel useless and like I'm kind of a waste of space. But the second I realize that there are other people who rely on me for happiness, for comfort, for sometimes simple things, it instantly boosts my self-esteem. For example, my friend Karen has been going through a lot and she's been feeling really pulled in different directions with church and her family. She's taking care of her mom who's sick and she's trying to manage a lot of extracurricular activities for the kids. I kind of saw that need and saw it as a need I could fill for my friend, that she needed more support. So I took the opportunity to go make Karen a little care package and deliver that to her house to make sure she felt a little taken care of. Not only does that serve Karen and make her feel better, but it also serves me in helping others and feeling useful. And I think this is the biggest misconception about volunteering. People think that you volunteer in order to help others and help them, but primarily you get a boost from volunteering and helping others. When you're giving yourself to your community, and you're nourishing others around you, you're feeling useful, you're feeling like you have something positive to contribute to the world. But you also see that there are other people with far bigger problems that you have, that your life is something very grateful to be for. And if you're watching my channel, you are immensely blessed and you live a very good life. But there are always people who suffer in greater ways than you do. We're all human, we all suffer, we all have different challenges, but helping others who are less fortunate than you and can make you feel really grateful and appreciative of the things that you do have in life. I am immensely blessed to have friends and family who love and cherish me deeply, but this is not chance. This is not just happenstance. I have carefully cultivated and poured into these relationships over the course of years. So if you feel lost and alone right now, it is something that you're going to intentionally have to work at, to put yourself into your community, to make friends with new people, and to cultivate relationships that'll serve you for the rest of your life. When I first moved to Providence, I felt very alone and I felt very sad and far from my family. But I did a lot to get myself out there. I made cookies for my neighbors, I started going to church, I started going to workout groups, I joined the junior league, and I started volunteering around town. And all of these things helped me to feel like I belonged where I lived, and it helped me to cultivate relationships that made me feel loved. Okay, so the final step in our Aspire framework to cultivate greater happiness and whole person well-being is your emotional well-being. And I think for me, this is the hardest part of the framework, but it is immensely important. You can't ignore the desires of your heart. They exist in your soul because you're yours to win. You can overly intellectualize your life and you can try to plan out everything, but there's a part of you that is purely based on feeling and intuition and love. And you have to listen to that side of yourself too. If you're going through any deep emotions, you can try to run away from them for a while. You can overwork yourself, you can pour yourself into different hobbies, but your emotional state will still exist in your body even if it's quiet. And if you ignore it for too long, it will rear its head and come out in an ugly way because it feels neglected. Listen to your emotions. They tell you something very important about what your body needs. If you want to feel like a whole person, you have to nourish the emotional side of you as well. For me at least, it's very easy to feel the depths of positive emotions, but it's hardest to feel the depths of those negative emotions for me because I always want to make it seem like I'm okay and my life is great and I'm, thriving as a firstborn syndrome. But you cannot fully experience the light in your life unless you have the courage to walk through the darkness. You have to feel an emotion through its entirety to its very core if you want to fully process it and move on to bigger and better things in your life. If you don't fully process these emotions, they will live low in your system and eventually you'll have to deal with them. But if you want the best out of life, you have to still have the courage to navigate that negativity. But I will just say that our mind can tell us all sorts of scary stories and negativity. That doesn't mean it's true. So whenever you feel this negativity come up, ask yourself, is this thought, is this feeling that I'm having truth or is it a fantasy? And is this a story I want to believe? We're all telling ourselves a story in our minds all the time. We build ourselves out of those stories. You want to consciously choose the stories you're telling yourself to craft the person you want to be and to feel like the brightest, best version of yourself. Your feelings are not facts. They're an emotional state in a specific moment. They are telling you something very important about what your system needs, but they are not reality. And feelings change. So even if they're super negative, this too shall pass. And allow yourself to walk through that negativity so you can experience the wonderful, joyous moments of life. The greatest heroes of legend had to walk through darkness and fall into the abyss in order to be reborn into the best version of themselves. You are not a slave to your emotions. They are telling you something very important. They're telling you where you need to grow in order to become the hero of your own personal legend. I started this channel because I wanted to help people, because I personally have walked through immense darkness and I have known great sadness in my life. And if anything I have learned can help you along the way, I certainly will be continuing to share it. I will continue to show up for you guys to tell you that you have the capacity to build your dreams and that you have the courage within you to face even the most challenging parts of life. If you'd like to learn more about the Aspire framework, you can check out the link in the description box below. Good luck, guys!